Hello everyone, happy afternoon. कशा आहेत सगळे मस्त ना? आरामदिरल्री ಎಲ್ಲರೂ? Okay, so today it's a new class of new day. I have started my classes from last one class, and in that we have discussed some things, and what are that some things you know but very well. So as you know, we are playing with the bridge course. Okay, every lecture of every subject is concerning with the bridge course to all of you. So like that, in the physics bridge course, in my class, in the last class, we discussed about some things, some basic things, and as you know, I am dealing with the 3 chapters: kinetic theory of gas, waves and oscillations. So in my last class I told some things about kinetic theory of gas, and also some basic things we studied about physics. Means we started with the physics, and we studied some basic things. In after that video, I saw some of you are messaging me like, do you want to make a separate book for physics? I didn't understand what you are asking. You are asking or telling. I didn't understand. So if you have any doubts about anything, you can message me also on the WhatsApp, or you can comment there in the YouTube class. Okay, so about the last class, if you have any doubt, ask me. Don't worry about asking the questions. Okay, so that's your right. You have to ask, and you have to get the concepts clear. You have to make the concepts clear by clearing all the queries, by clearing all the doubts. Okay, so in the last class we studied about all the things, all the basic things. Okay, so today it's a bridge course part 2. This is part 2, and one more live class I will take today afternoon for the C and D division, and tomorrow afternoon and for A and B division one more live class in the team link. And that too, you know, some lectures are taking the live classes. So today and tomorrow I will be taking live classes of physics, and that will be the final game. Today it was bridge course part 2 in the YouTube class, and in the live class we will finalize it. That will be our final game. So with that, the bridge course will be finished. Okay, so after that we will start the actual syllabus of PUC first year, which is given to you. Okay, so let's start today's class. As you know, I am dealing with the 3 concepts: kinetic theory of gases, and oscillations and waves. And in the last class we talked about kinetic theory of gases, and we discussed some basic concepts. So today I am switching on to the chapter oscillations. So today we'll play with the oscillations. Okay, so oscillations, when you heard this word oscillating, oscillations, I think now you can't understand it. What is oscillation? You can't understand it now. But okay, so what I thought is, before going to the oscillations, I have to start somewhere else. I should not start with the oscillation. I have to start from one more important concept, one more basic concept. That is, I will not tell you the name of the concept, you only decide it. Okay, now I am giving you a situation or a system like a garden or a college or a bus stop. A system, any system you consider. Better you consider bus stop. Okay, in bus stop you will travel every day. You will travel. You know how the situation will be in the bus stop. Okay, now imagine bus stop, how it will be. Bus stop कसं असते, काय काय असते bus stop मध्ये. Buses will be there, people are there, students are there, some other vehicles are also there, other peoples of business are also there, like shops will be there, sellers will be there. Okay, like that. Okay, so you imagine the situation. What will be happening in the bus stop? Buses are moving here and there, coming inside the bus stop, going outside the bus stop. People are moving here and there. Some are running for their buses, some are coming now to the bus stop, and the sellers will be there. काय ते laya vapors, sellers will be there. Okay, like that, so many activities will be going on in the bus stop, isn't it? Everybody is moving here and there, everything is moving here and there. Now you just imagine all the activities happening in that bus stops are stopped. Buses stopped, people stopped, sellers stopped, students stopped, running ones stopped, everything is stopped. Now you imagine what will be the situation. You, anybody can't go to their homes. Any hunger ones, कुणाला भूक लागल्यास तर काय खाऊ शकत नाही. Okay, buses will not move here anywhere, they will stop there only. Okay, this is the situation of bus stop. Now you think of any garden. In garden, what's happening? Somebody is running, somebody is jogging, students are playing, means kids are playing, or cradles will be there. Palna aste na, jokali irte talri, that will be there, and all the things again some shops will be there. That is also one system. Okay, there also everyone is hearing here and there moving. So now you think the same. What happens if everybody stopped? Joggers stopped, runners stopped, kids playing stopped, the moving people, the walking people stopped, shops stopped, everyone is stopped. So if you go on thinking like in every incident, you think it may be school, it may be bus stop, it may be garden, it may be college, anything. If anything stopped, if everything stopped, what will happen? Earth is also moving, na? Earth is also moving slowly. Earth is also moving slowly. If that also stopped, what happens? What will be the life? What will be the life if no movement is there? Listen carefully what I am telling. I am telling life will be stopped if there is no movement. Understood? Now play everything. Up to here now you have paused. Now play everything. Bus stop is also as it is. Garden also as it is. Earth is also moving. Means pause button you thought. Now play it again. Everything is going on clearly. No any disturbance. Life is going on peacefully. No any problem. Okay. So what you observed in all these situations is everything, every person, every system is moving. Every system, every person, everything is what? Moving. Means all the things in this world, all the things in this universe are moving. Understood? All the things are what? Moving. Means the process which is keeping our life going on is what? Movement. No movement, no life. Yes or no? If there is no movement, no life. Don't go at the higher examples. Look at yourself right now. You are watching this video on your mobile. You may be sitting in your room. Look upside. Fan will be there. Fan is moving. And I am talking. Means I am also moving. Okay, your mobile is playing. Your hands, your mind is also moving. It is thinking. So everything in this universe is under movement. Everything in this universe is under motion. Yes or no? Anything, if it is moving, it is said to be under motion. Buses are moving means they are under motion. Birds are flying means they are under motion. Fan is rotating means it is under motion. I am talking, I am under motion. My heart is beating, it is under motion. Yes or no? So everything in this world is under motion. No motion, no movement, there is no life. So this thing is very important. Yes or no? And this will give, the concept of motion will give the basic idea for oscillations. That's why I am dealing with the motion here. Yes or no? You have studied about it. Motion म्हणजे काय? चलने अंतर नोड्री कन्नडदोळग चलने. Okay? मराठीमध्ये काय म्हणतात? चलने म्हणत असणार. Okay? So this you have studied in your high schools. In your previous classes you have studied, but it is very essential to understand about motion. Okay, so now you understood what is the meaning of motion. So now you can you have to think of how can we define motion. म्हणजे एक ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆ, ಅದರ ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬರಿಬೇಕ್ರಿ, ಮೋಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಚಲನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. If somebody asks you in the class or in the physics class or in any science class, if somebody asks you what is motion, at that time you can't say buses are moving, that is motion, I am moving, that is motion, birds are flying. No, not like that. That is just meaning of the motion. So what will be the definition of motion means, now you think, okay, this is one chalk piece, this is kept here, okay, so now it will move like this. So now what can I say, this chalk piece is under motion from here to here, na? Yes or no? Or you consider anything. Okay, this is duster. Initially it is here. Initially it is here at rest. So it starts moving. It starts moving. Okay. So this thing was under motion. Okay. Now you listen carefully. Initially this thing was here at rest. Its position is here. Okay. Now it starts moving. Okay, now its position is here. Initially where was the position? It is here, and now its position is here. So if this thing is moving, its position is changing. Yes or no? Initial position was here, final position is here. So if this thing is moving, its position changing. So motion is nothing but change in the position. I am standing here. If I am moving, my position changes. I am under motion. I will be said to under motion only if my position changes. I am standing now here. I will come here. My position changes, then only it is said that I am under motion. If I'll stay here only, I won't go anywhere. I won't walk anywhere. So how will be I'm under motion? My position is not changing means I am not under motion. This thing is not changing its position means it's not under motion. So if it is under motion, it changes its position. Yes or no? So the motion is nothing but the change in the position. Motion is nothing but what? Change in position. If any object changes its position, it is said to be under motion. So आतापर्यंत मी काय काय एक्झाम्पल दिले ना, ಏನೇನು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ನಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. Think of all those examples. There you will analyze, yes, motion is change of the position. Bus stop, school, college, garden, think. Every object is changing its position. That's why it is said to be under motion. So the motion is nothing but change in position. Okay, so how can we define it now? How can we define motion? Means an object at rest, if changes its position, it is called as motion. Understood? Means, or you can say the motion is when any object at rest changes its position. Any object, if it changes its position from rest, initially it was in rest, so now it is changing its position. So if any object changes its position from rest to motion, any object changes its position from the state of rest, it is called as motion. Any object, if changes its position from the state of rest, it is called as motion. Understood? So the motion is nothing but what? Change in the position of an object kept at the state of rest. Okay, so related to this motion, there are some simple parameters. You will study that in first or second unit also, but for the basic knowledge, I am telling you, related to motion, you are having some important basic things. Like now I'm walking or I'm running, means my walking or running is having some speed. Yes or no? Bus is moving. Okay, that is under motion. It is changing its position. Okay, that is under motion. We agree with that. But if how bus is moving, from where to where bus is moving, in how much time bus is moving, that also things we have to think of, na? when you are thinking about the motion, so the things related to motion are also thinked. Yes or no? So when you start thinking like that, you will get those questions in your mind. Okay, so if the bus is traveling from Nippani to Kolhapur, bus is traveling from Nippani to Kolhapur, so one bus will take 30 minutes, one bus will take 40 minutes, one bus will take 50 minutes. Like that, every bus's timing will be different. So how this timing will be different? सगळी बस एकच टाइम मध्ये 30 मिनिट्स मध्येच का पोहोचत नाही निप्पाणी टू कोल्हापूर? लई स्टॉप असतात मध्ये म्हणताय काय? नाही, stops will be there, okay, but there will be difference in speed of every bus. Yes or no? Some buses will go very speed, some buses will go little bit speed, some buses will go very slow, like that. So when you think of motion, it's very essential to think about the speed of the things. Okay, so this is the parameter related to motion. One more parameter comes, velocity. Okay, one more thing comes, distance, displacement. काय हे सगळं? What all these things are there? We haven't heard about these things earlier. Okay, so now you think this thing I told you, this is moving from here to here. So now the initial position is this, the final position is this. So if this thing moves, this thing covered this much distance ना, covered this much distance. बस जरी निप्पाणी पासून कोल्हापूरला चालले, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಆ ಬಸ್ ನಿಪ್ಪಾಣಿಂದ ಕೊಲ್ಲಾಪುರ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಎಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ distance. If I am walking from here to here, I have covered this much distance. Yes or no? So the path covered, path म्हणजे काय? मार्ग, हादी अंतारल्रे. So the path covered by the moving object is called as what? Distance. The path covered by the moving object is called as distance. म्हणजे ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್? 30 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್, ನಿಪ್ಪಾಣಿ ಟು ಕೊಲ್ಹಾಪುರ್ 30 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 10 ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರ್, ಇತ್ತುನ್ 1 ಮೀಟರ್, like that. Okay, the path covered, how much path is covered by that object is called as what? Distance. Okay, so now displacement, difference between distance and displacement is, okay, here to here this much is path covered, okay, but in which direction? निप्पाणी टू कोल्हापूर कोणत्या डायरेक्शन मध्ये चालले बस? कोणत्या डायरेक्शन मध्ये चालले? परत येताना परत कोणत्या डायरेक्शन मध्ये आले? सो दॅट डायरेक्शन म्हणजे काय? North to south, south to north, like that, east to west, like that. Direction will be there na. That direction is given by what? Displacement. Understood? Distance म्हणजे काय? जेवढं ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಕವರ್ झाले ते तेवढं सांगते. ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ? ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳ್ತದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಯಾವ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ದಾಗ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಯದ, ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ಮೋಷನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಯಾವ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ದಾಗ ಆಗ್ಯದ, ಈಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಆಗ್ಯದು, ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಆಗ್ಯದು, ನಾರ್ತ್ ಸೌತ್, ಯಾವ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ದಾಗ ಆಗ್ಯದ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ವಾಟ್? ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಎಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ? ಸೊ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ವಾಟ್? ದ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ initial position and final position. The distance between initial position and final position is called as displacement. Distance is the path covered by the object. Displacement is the distance between initial position and final position in particular directions. Understood? So distance ge direction illa, displacement ge direction ide. That's why distance is called a scalar quantity and displacement is called a vector quantity. About scalars and vectors you will study further, no problem. But just I'm telling, distance is not having direction, displacement is having direction. Distance is a scalar quantity, displacement is a vector quantity. Understood? So now स्पीड म्हणजे काय? स्पीड इज द रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ डिस्टन्स विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू टाइम. स्पीड म्हणजे काय? स्पीड इज इक्वल टू डिस्टन्स डिवायडेड बाय टाइम. Speed means the rate of change of distance with respect to time. Velocity means the rate of change of displacement, the rate of change of displacement with respect to time. Okay, as you know, distance is not having direction. Time ला पण direction नाही. Time किती वाजले? 2 वाजले. कोणत्या डायरेक्शन मध्ये? पूर्व दिशामध्ये 2 वाजले असं म्हणतो का कधी? नो. So time is not having any direction. So distance is also not having direction. Time is also not having direction. So speed is also not having direction. Displacement and time. Displacement is having direction. Time ge direction illa, adre displacement is having direction. That's why velocity is also having direction. Understood? This is difference between speed and velocity. कोणतं पण ऑब्जेक्ट मूव्ह झाले याचं स्पीड एवढं होतं, एवढं बॉल एवढं स्पीड न गेलं ना असं तुम्ही सांगताय. ओके, बट दॅट इज नॉट करेक्ट इन टर्म्स ऑफ फिजिक्स. व्हेन द क्रिकेटर हिट्स द बॉल, ही हिट्स इन अ पर्टिक्युलर डायरेक्शन ना, म्हणजे ते स्पीड म्हणू शकत नाही आम्ही. दॅट इज वेलॉसिटी. मग आता मॅच बघताना उद्या तुम्ही काय म्हणणार? यस, ते बॉल किती वेलॉसिटीने गेला असं म्हणणार काय? बघा तुमचं तुम्ही काय ते. बट आय एम टेलिंग स्पीड अँड वेलॉसिटी आर नॉट सेम. द स्पीड इज नॉट हॅव्हिंग डायरेक्शन बट वेलॉसिटी इज हॅव्हिंग डायरेक्शन. अंडरस्टूड? सो दिस इज अबाउट the some things about. And one more thing comes. This is rate of change of displacement with respect to time, that is velocity. Rate of change of velocity with respect to time, that is acceleration. Okay, all these things we will study when our syllabus starts, but the basic things you should know as we are studying about the motion. Okay, that's why I am telling about that. So now you understood what is motion. So now you think, now you start observing those examples. Motion of every object, is it same? Every object is moving in the same manner. Yes, your heart is beating, the motion is like this, dub 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 dub. Fan is rotating like this, it is in a round. Bus vehicles are going, they are moving in a straight line, curve, like that. Snake is moving in a zigzag pattern. Or birds are flying in free space, anyhow, they are not having permanent fixed direction. So when you observe the things around you, when you observe the moving things around you, जे वस्तू ಮೋಷನ್ मध्ये आहेत, जे तुम्ही ಬಗಿತ್ಲಾ, ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ್ರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನು ಅನಿಸ್ತದೆ? ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಮೋಷನ್ಸ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಅದಾವ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೇಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಮೋಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನದಾವ? ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಅದಾವ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ to study the motion with respect to some types. Yes or no? There are so many kinds of motions are there. लई वेगवेगळे प्रकारचे motions आहेत, but how to study them? How to study them? So we are classifying the motion in 3 types. So we are classifying the motion in 3 types. The 3 main types. First one is translatory motion. Translatory motion. Second is rotatory motion. And the third is oscillatory motion. atta laga heading. So translatory, rotatory and oscillatory. Translatory motion means what? When the things moves in a straight line. When the things moves in a straight line. You can consider the vehicles moving in a straight line. The plants growing in a straight line. Means the branches will be going on, but they will be in a straight line. They will be in a straight line like that. Or you are walking, or you are running, or vehicles are going. So all the motions where the objects are moving in a straight line, when the objects are moving in a straight line, their motion is said to be what? Translatory motion. Vehicles, plants, the human beings you can consider, so they are under translatory motion. So the any object which moves in a straight line is called as a translatory motion. Okay, now rotatory motion. Rotatory means fan. Fan is moving. The wings of the fan are moving like this. Means like this they will be there. Na? So when the wings are moving, when the wings are rotating, they are rotating about a fixed point. They are rotating about a fixed point. Or now you consider okay, now look at this. This is like this. I am rotating it like this. So this thing is rotating. This thing is rotating with respect to a fixed position. The fixed position is my finger. Yes or no? So earth is also rotating around the sun. You know it, na? So earth is rotating around the sun. This is sun and earth is rotating around the sun. So sun is what? A fixed point or a fixed center. So any object which rotate around a fixed point or a fixed axis also you can consider. Fixed axis means what? So this is one axis. It's like okay, this is one axis. This is one fixed axis. If the book is rotating like this, yes. So this is what? A fixed axis. And earth is moving around sun. This is what? Fixed center. This is a fixed point or fixed center around which earth is moving, and this is a fixed axis around which the book is moving. Okay, so any object which rotates around a fixed point or fixed axis is called as rotatory motion. Any motion which takes place, any motion where the objects are moving around a fixed point or fixed axis is called as what? Rotatory motion. So that is the motion of earth around sun you can consider, the motion of moon around the earth you can consider, or the fan you can consider, or if you are rotating any thing around your finger, that you can consider. Okay, so anything which rotates around a fixed point or a fixed axis is called as what? Rotatory motion. Okay, so the last one, oscillatory motion. Oscillatory motion म्हणजे काय जरा वेगळंच आहे. Oscillatory how means you consider the example of cradle. पाळणा असते ना, जोकाली इरते त्याला. Okay, how it will be there? I am very bad at the diagram, don't mind. So it will be असं असते असं समजा. So this is what? A cradle. Okay, so initially the cradle is at rest. It is at rest. So when you sitting on that and you are playing, it will move like this. Means consider this is a cradle. Okay, so it is initially at rest. So when you sit on this, you will start it moving like this. Like this. Front, back, like that you start oscillating. That cradle starts oscillating. Yes or no? So this such motion is called to and fro. To and fro. To and fro. Okay, so the objects which are in to and fro motion. The object which are in to and fro motion. असं जे होते ना, means from like this. That wall clock will be there ना. Wall clock काही ते जुने वॉच असत होते बघा. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೀಗ ಪೆಂಡುಲಮ್ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು ಕೆಳಗ. At every hour it will ring once. If it is 1 p.m. one time ring, 2 p.m. two time ring, like that. In that, one cradle, one pendulum will be there. So that is oscillatory motion. Or cradle, or chairs will be there, na? That relaxing chairs will be there, rock chairs you will call. So if you sit on this, it will go back, front, like that. So such motions are called as what? Oscillatory motions. Okay. So the objects which are under to and fro motions. You can consider pendulum. In watch, pendulum will be there, na? That round color one. ಏನಂತಾರೆ ಲೋಲಕ್ ಅಂತದ್ ಬಗ ಲೋಲಕ್ ಅಂತಾರಲ್ರಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. So that is moving like this. Okay, so such motions are called as oscillatory motions. Means the objects which are in to and fro motion. The objects which are in to and fro motions are called as oscillatory motion. It may be cradle, it may be pendulum, it may be rocking chair. Okay, like that. So many examples are there. So this is what. So now you start thinking. Now, as you have taken admission for the second year science, you have to improve your point of view. Improve your point of view. Whenever you look at an object, you have to look at it scientifically. In the way of science, you have to look at that object, or you have to think in the way of science. Now you understood about motion. Okay, now after this class, when you go outside, look observing the things around you. Look observing the things around you. Okay, so start observing anything. If you see, now at that time you will decide, yes, this object is under motion. You go outside, somewhere is walking in your area, or birds are flying, or vehicles are going here and there. So at that time you will decide, yes, this object is under motion. Okay, so now at that time, when you observe your surrounding, you start to think which thing is under translatory motion, which thing is under rotatory motion, which thing is oscillatory motion. So now when you observe the motions around you, you try to classify those motions. You try to classify those motions, which motion is of which type. Okay, do it after finishing the class. It's interesting. Okay, so these were the 3 important types of the motion. So every object's motion, if you see, you can classify them as translatory, rotatory and oscillatory. Okay, so these were the 3 important motions. Okay, so some motions, what happens if bus is going from Nippani to Chikkodi. Okay, so once it goes from Nippani to Chikkodi, it stops. Okay, after some time again it goes from Chikkodi to Nippani. Means Nippani to Chikkodi, Chikkodi to Nippani, Nippani to Chikkodi, Chikkodi to Nippani. Means that motion is not stopping. It is continuing like that only. Okay, but when I throw this object, when I throw this chalk somewhere, can it come back? No. When I throw this object, it goes and fall down there only. When I throw this object anywhere, it goes like this and fall down at one time. Okay, so when you are means anything, any objects like fan is moving. So it goes one rotatory motion, another rotatory motion, another rotatory motion, until the power offs. जोपर्यंत current जात नाही तोपर्यंत that will be in motion only, na? So once power off, it will stop. Okay, so and also, as I told you, the earth is rotating around the sun. So for one full rotation, it takes 365 days. You know that. So after one full rotation of 365 days, is it stops here? Does the earth stops rotating? No. And at the 366th day, it starts one more new rotation. Na? It starts one more new rotation. One day 1 पासून start करून 365 ला बास आता वास झालं म्हणून थांबते काय? No. 366th day, it will start its new rotation. Means rotation is not stopping. It is moving. It is rotating like that continuously. But if you are moving somewhere, if you are moving somewhere, you are moving from one place to another place, you move, you goes under motion, and as you reach your destination you stops. Like आता first standard पासून 10th standard पर्यंत शिकलाय, studied, you have studied from first standard to 10th standard. So that is also one motion, na? You consider that also as one motion. From the class 1 to class 10, you have moved. So now, can you go back again to the class 1? Will you go back? No, that was one-sided motion. That was the motion in a single direction. Class 1 to class 10. You will go further only, 11, 12 like that. You can't go back. Okay, so what I am telling is, some motions are repeating. Some motions are repeating, but some motions are not repeating. Yes or no? You start again, you start observe the things. Some motions, if they happens once, they will repeat again and again. They will repeat again and again. Earth is moving, it will, that rotatory motion will repeat again and again. But if I throw any object, it won't come back. So that motion is not repeating. You are studying from class 1 to class 10. That motion will not repeat. Okay, so what I am telling is, some motions are repeating, some motions are not repeating. So yes, here I am telling one special type of motion, that is periodic motion. Periodic motion. Periodic means what? Repeating. So the motion which repeats itself at regular intervals of time. The motion which repeats itself at regular intervals of time is called as what? Periodic motion. The earth moving sun, that only you consider. So it will complete one rotation in 365 days. So that was one interval of time. Day 1 to day 365, that was one interval of time. So if one rotation completed, again next interval of time starts, na? Yes or no? So the motion which repeats itself at regular intervals of time is called as periodic motion. Okay, so now in translatory, rotatory, oscillatory, you can now think which motion is periodic. Yes, rotatory motion is periodic. Yes, means all the rotatory motions are not periodic, but two, all the translatory motions are not periodic. Okay, so you can think which motion is periodic and which motion is non-periodic. Okay, so this is a special type of motion, periodic motion. So now this periodic motion, you can relate it to oscillatory motion. Oscillatory motion. So all the oscillatory motions are what? Periodic. Yes or no? So anything that is repeating, na, that oscillatory motions is repeating. So all the motions, all the oscillatory motions are periodic, you can think. Okay, so this is about periodic motion. Okay, so now in this chapter oscillations, you will come across with the important special kind of motion, that is simple harmonic motion. Okay, that we will study when our syllabus starts. But to understand that simple harmonic motion, you have to know about one analyzation. One thing you have to analyze, that is that pendulum, which I told, na, which will be there in the clock, wall clocks will be there, na, ancient one. Nowadays also they are there. The wall clocks, in that pendulum will be there, na. Now I am consider this pendulum. So it is like this pendulum. So now what we will do, we will analyze the motion of this pendulum. Yes, this is oscillatory only because it goes like this, to and fro motion. Okay, so now we will analyze the motion of this pendulum. so that when I'm explaining simple harmonic motion in the class, you can think, you can understand it very easily. So now let's start analyzing the motion of this pendulum. Okay, so now this is at rest. This pendulum is at rest. I will apply some force to it. I will apply some force. So it starts moving. It starts moving. It goes here. Again it comes. Again it goes here. Okay. Again it comes here. Again it goes, it comes, it goes, it comes. Means whatever the force I have applied, depending on that, it moves. If I have applied more force, it will give more oscillations. If I have given a light force, a small force, so it will it will come to rest very soon. जर मी जोरात फोर्स दिलेलो तर ते लईच ऑसिलेशन्स करते. ओके, सो इट विल नॉट कम टू द रेस्ट सून. म्हणजे काय, ಅದು ಜಲ್ದಿ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಜಲ್ದಿ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ಗೆ ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ನಾನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ a few oscillations it will come to rest. Okay, so it depends on the force applied also. Force म्हणजे काय माहिती आहे ना, force is nothing but what, one external agent. Means हे बघा, force, the concept of force is also very interesting. I have to tell you. So this object is at rest now. ओके, सो जर हे ऑब्जेक्ट मोशन करायला पाहिजे, जर हे ऑब्जेक्ट ह्या पोझिशन पासून ह्या पोझिशनला जायला पाहिजे, तर ह्याला मी फोर्स अप्लाय करायला पाहिजे ना. जर मी फोर्स अप्लाय केलो तरच हे ऑब्जेक्ट जाणार. ओके, सो दिस ऑब्जेक्ट इज एट रेस्ट. I won't apply any force. So how can it change the position? Yes, it will be at rest only na. So if I apply the force, then only it starts moving and it changes the position and it is said to be under motion. Okay, so applying the force is also very important. So force is what? It is an external agent. म्हणजे काय, हे बॉडी आहे ना, ह्याला मी बाहेरून फोर्स अप्लाय करते, ಹೊರಗಿಂದ, externally I am applying the force na. That's why force is an external agent. Force is an external agent which changes the position of the object. Force is an external agent which changes the state of the object. Means it is at the state of rest now. Now it is changing. Now it is in the moving state. Rest state, moving state. So the external agent which changes the state of the object from rest to motion is called as force. Understood? Otherwise, जर हे ऑब्जेक्ट मूव करतच आहे, when this object is already moving, if I want to stop it, गाडी ऑलरेडी मूव करत आहे, स्टॉप करायचं असेल तर काय करायला पाहिजे, ब्रेक अप्लाय करायला पाहिजे. सो अप्लाइंग द ब्रेक इज ऑल्सो अ फोर्स. Understood? Means if the body is at rest, you want to make it move, or if the body is moving, you want to keep it at rest. In both the cases, you have to apply the force. Understood? So to change the position from rest to motion, or to change the position from motion to rest, you need force. Understood? So the force is an external agent which changes the state of rest or state of motion of the object. Understood? Force is an external agent which changes the state of rest or the state of motion of the object. So like that, to this pendulum, if I apply the force, it starts moving like this, Okay, so now if it starts from here, 1, it goes here, 2, again it comes here, 3, it goes here, 4, again it comes here. 5 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 oscillation completed. Understood? Means from here it started, it goes here, 2, it comes again here, 3, it goes to this side also, again comes here. So one oscillation completed. Okay, so if you study it as wave also, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one oscillation completed, like that. So after one oscillation it won't stop, it again does the second oscillation, third oscillation, fourth oscillation, like that. Means what is the meaning of oscillation I am telling. Okay, now you consider that cradle also, parna, jokali, it is at rest. Initially parna is at rest, it goes front, again come to rest, again it goes back, again come to rest position. So one oscillation, एक झोका complete झाला असं म्हणताय ना. Okay, so now again for the second झोका it will goes like this, again come, again goes, again comes. So that is what oscillation. Okay, now that rock chair also, rock chair initially कसं असते, रेस्ट, हा पाठीमागं गेलं परत पुढं आलं आणि जरा पुढं गेलं पाठीमागं आलं, one oscillation. Like 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 2 oscillation, like that. Means what is the meaning of oscillation I am telling. Understood? So now this pendulum once goes to this side, come back, once goes to this side, come back, one oscillation complete. Okay, so this is about what? Oscillation. So while doing the oscillation, it will show some properties. म्हणजे जेव्हा ऑसिलेशन करत असताना ॲट दॅट टाइम वी कॅन थिंक सम प्रॉपर्टीज लाईक, बघा आता वन ऑसिलेशन कंप्लीट करायला, टू कंप्लीट वन ऑसिलेशन इट रिक्वायर पर्टिक्युलर टाइम. आता आम्ही टाइम लावतो, इथनं इकडे जाऊन आणि परत इकडे येऊन इकडे जाऊन इकडे यायला किती टाइम लागते, ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ಬೇಕ್ರಿ ಒಂದು ಆಸಿಲೇಷನ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಾಕ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಟು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಒನ್ ಆಸಿಲೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಪೀರಿಯಡ್, represented by T. So the time required to complete one full oscillation is called as what? Period. It may be 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 1 second, 5 seconds, anything. So the time required to complete one oscillation is called as what? Period. Okay, now again आता आणि परत टाइम लावायचं. 1 सेकंड मध्ये 1 सेकंड ಒಳಗ ಎಷ್ಟು oscillations ಆಗ್ತಾವ? Means you have to set the time in 1 second how much oscillations this pendulum is showing. That also you can calculate na. So the number of oscillations in 1 second is called as what? Frequency, denoted by small f. The number of oscillations in 1 second is called as what? Frequency. Okay, now हे बघा, हे जे पोझिशन आहे, this position is called as what? Mean position. And these two positions are called as extreme positions. This is one extreme position, this is also another extreme position. So from mean position to extreme mean, one full oscillation, that you know. Okay, आता बघा, when you apply the force, it will goes to this extreme position up to particular point, up to maximum point it goes and come back. Here also it goes to maximum point and come back. तुम्ही झोकाळा पाळणा खेळाला, so when you go further up to one maximum position you will go and you will come back. When you go back up to one maximum position you go and you will come back. Okay, you can't go more than that maximum position. त्या मॅक्झिमम जे लेवल फिक्स आहे त्याच्यावर तुम्ही जाऊ शकत नाही. ಎಸ್ or no? ಈ ಕಡೆ ಹೋದಾಗನು ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನೀವು ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕಾಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. सपोज त्याच्या वर जायचं असलं तर काय, पाळणा तुटून जायला पाहिजे, ते गोष्ट वेगळं. हिअर ऑल्सो इफ इट वॉन्ट टू गोज अप टू, if want to goes more than the maximum, this string will break, then only, and it will goes like this, it will go somewhere. so the oscillations are cancelled. Okay, so when this pendulum is moving, it have to go up to one maximum position only. So that maximum displacement is called as what? Amplitude. That is called as what? Amplitude. The maximum displacement. Displacement म्हणजे काय? Change in the position from initial to final. I told you. So this is initial, this is final. So if the pendulum is moving from here to here, it is showing the displacement. Again it is moving from here to here, it is showing the displacement. So the maximum displacement, ज्याच्यावर तुम्ही जाऊ शकत नाही, that is maximum displacement, and that maximum displacement is called as what? Amplitude. Okay, and if the pendulum is moving like this, from here it is making some angle. Okay, as I told you, this is just displacement of the pendulum. So this is angle. So when the pendulum moves like this theta is called as what? Angular displacement. Angular displacement. हेच तुम्ही जरी any spring, if you consider, spring is also showing oscillations. Okay, ka spring initially at the rest, if you stretch it, it goes, it extends. Again if you leave it, it again goes to the rest position. So spring is also showing the oscillations. Rest to stretch, stretch to rest, it is also showing what? Oscillations. So that spring, in that spring you cannot think of the angular displacement. There you will think of the linear displacement. How it will be means, let me show you. So now consider this is a spring. Okay, now I will extend it, I will stretch it. So what it becomes? It becomes like this na, as a stretch hote. So when I leave it, again it goes like this. So the oscillations are like this. Here the oscillations are like this, here the oscillations are like this. So here the displacement is not having any angle. Here the displacement is not having any angle, but here the displacement is having the angle. So this displacement is called as linear displacement. Fourth point is linear displacement, and here you are having angular displacement. This is what? Angular displacement. Okay, so these period, frequency, amplitude, linear displacement, angular displacement are some characteristics comes when you are studying about the oscillatory motion. Okay, so this is helpful. This will help you while you are studying the simple harmonic motion in your actual syllabus. That's why I am covering all these basic things. Okay, so now today we learned a very interesting and very common thing which we observe in our surrounding, that is motion. In that three types were there: translatory, rotatory and oscillatory. And after that we studied one more special part, that is periodic motion. And next, when your syllabus starts, we will study about simple harmonic motion also. Okay, so these are the some. And today also we studied some basic things which are very essential to understand the concepts in the actual syllabus. Actual syllabus जेव्हा start होते ना, तेव्हा पण तुम्हाला ते means everything is new to you. Everything is new to you. So when we start teaching there, if you know these basic things, it's very easier for you to understand. Okay, so with this today I'll finish my class. Okay, one more live class I am taking. In that I will discuss about waves. Okay, so as I told you that kinetic theory was first part, this oscillations is bridge course part 2, and waves will be the final game. With that we will finish up the bridge course. Okay, so in this class, if you have any queries, any doubts, ask me freely. You can chat me in the WhatsApp also, or you can ask in the YouTube comments also. Okay, but the thing is, you have to understand the things carefully. You have to understand them clearly without a single doubt. That's only is my intention. Okay. So we'll finish up the class today. Bye bye. Take care.